Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? My name is Kent, and the channel is EOS San Diego. And tonight I'm actually being challenged on the challenge application to be at this very location and this very spot to make this video. So I'm being paid 0.0 EOS as challenged by my son to be at this very location right now to make this video. So I'm actually making 0.01 EOS for being here because my son challenged me for that, to be here tonight to make this video. So that's the way the challenge application works. I also want to say today too that I noticed another YouTuber actually did mention the challenge application, and I really appreciate it. Max Dapp, I think he's out of the UK. He briefly mentioned the challenge application. I think he's one of the first YouTubers to ever mention challenge. So thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate that. So if you watch Max Dapp's EOS videos, I think they're pretty good, and I appreciate him saying something about the challenge application. He did say that it was a workout challenge, which is in the very, very, very beginning, we did call it a workout challenge, but we have since changed that to be basically a challenge for anything. We just started it that way because we wanted it to be able to be understood, but we realized very quickly that there were so many more uses for it. So we've actually expanded the use. And actually, like I say, tonight I'm being paid through challenge to be here to make this video. So this is the way I think the blockchain is going to work in the future, that activities will be able to be monetized. So if you do something and people try to encourage you to do it, they can actually pay you through cryptocurrency on a geolocation application like the challenge application to be someplace and do something, as I'm doing right now tonight. So that's what we're doing. This is a geolocation application that's paying me a reward for being here tonight in this location. I think he plugged in Barrel Republic, and it was real easy to do. He actually just went on the application, created the challenge, put the reward in, and then put the location in, which was Barrel Republic, which is, I'm standing almost in front of Barrel Republic. Then when I got here, I was able to accept the challenge and be paid 0.0 EOS to be here at this location and make this video. And that's what we did. So this is the way it's working. This is what we're going to be doing, and this is very close to being launched. We are on testnet. Testnet is just a little bit slower than mainnet. There's a few problems that we were noticing tonight, just with simple graphic issues that we were dealing with, and we're going to fix those. We're pushing it out to Apple. As soon as we push it out to Apple, Apple will, probably decide when they want to update it, because it's already on Apple. But I think the last time we actually pushed something to Apple, it took just a little bit of time. I can't remember. It wasn't a long time, but just a little time before it actually was up and running the apps in the Apple Store, the App Store, or the App Store, whatever you want to call it. So anyway, that's good. This is exciting, and we're really excited to be at this point. The other thing I want to talk about tonight is my good friend John on Telegram was asking me a little bit about how geolocation works on the blockchain. And I'm not the complete expert on it, but I understand it a little bit. And I know it works based on Google Maps, because we have to pay Google a small price to use the API for Google Maps. And the way Google Maps works is it works by taking information from cell phone locations, processing that information, and I believe that Google Maps does work of course off of satellite too, because they got Google Images and satellite, but it works from longitude, latitude in the Google app. So that's basically, or the Google API, that's basically how we're coming up with these locations. Now I do know that there are parts in the world, very remote parts of the world, where you can't get a location, and that's basically true of any application, even Uber or some places like that, where it won't pick up a location because of it's just simply not on the Google Maps. But I think the blockchain will be a real big thing for Google for geolocation, because the blockchain is a great tool for a learning tool to acquire information and be able to recall that information, and to be able to use that information so you can know exactly where somebody's at based on location. And I think that's going to get more and more refined and be able to work much better. And as you think about it, location is so important for almost anything. I mean, location means so much to how to add value to things, and being able to locate somebody and know where they're at, so you can market them, be able to know where they're at, be able to know what's within their availability. This is just everything. I mean, geolocation is so much. Look at Uber. Uber runs on geolocation. Yeah, Uber wouldn't know where to go pick somebody up if it wasn't for geolocation. And I can look at my Uber map or my Lyft map, and I can actually see all the drivers in this area right now to tell me if I can get a ride or not, or how quickly it'll be before they get a ride. All done by geolocation, mapping from the blockchain, or mapping from Google or off the GPS. And this is a pretty amazing thing that's taking place right now. And it's going to get much better. And I think the blockchain is the perfect venue for it. The other thing I want to talk about, and actually, because of the more information that gets on the blockchain, the better it will get too. I know that sometimes I use, for word processing, I'll use Microsoft Word. An old program, I don't really care for it, but I use it. And of course, Microsoft Word has a spell check on it. And the spell check never seems to be as good as a Google spell check. So I'll be on Microsoft Word and I'll be word processing. I can't quite spell a word, I'll get close, but there isn't very many options. And generally I end up going to the Google search engine, typing it in the Google search engine before I get the word spelled correctly. And the reason why is because Google is getting a lot more feedback. Their word processing, or their getting words correctly spelled is more complete with Google. It's a bigger sample base than with Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word's probably a lot less used, and it doesn't have as many people. The algorithm doesn't have as many people giving back content or information to refine the spell check, so it becomes better able to get close or pick a word that you're not spelling very well. And with Google, you can be pretty far off and still get the word to come back to you in proper spelling in Google. On the Microsoft Word, I get pretty far off and it doesn't even come close to figuring out what I'm trying to say. So I think that's what's going to happen with the blockchain. More information on the blockchain will mean better geolocation. Better geolocation will mean these applications will work much better. And of course, we're very early in the game as far as these kind of applications are concerned. But being rewarded and paid on the blockchain for being someplace, just like I'm doing tonight, I'm actually receiving a reward for being at this location on a challenge that my son made a little bit ago on the blockchain, running on a jungle testnet. And you'll be able to do the same thing very soon. I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much.